Hello YouTube and welcome to the second video of this anime week, a week where I will finally wrap up all my 2014 animes. And today we better get our tissues ready because I'm going to review True Tears. Now, did it make me cry or didn't it? True Tears centers around Shinichiro Nakagami, a high school student who lives together with Hiromi Yuasa, his childhood friend and crush. She moved into his household after the tragic death of her parents. Now, this seems like a dream, but unfortunately for Shinichiro, his relationship with Hiromi is extremely cold and distant, mainly because Hiromi shields herself from everyone. Shinichiro really wants to help her, but simply doesn't get the chance. Therefore, he feels quite miserable and continues to live in this grey, dull world. But one day, he meets a girl by the name of Noe Isurugi, an eccentric and extroverted dreamer who starts to turn his whole world around. Now, before I go further, I must warn you that this review will contain one spoiler. As usual, I will tell you in advance when the spoiler is coming up and provide you with links to skip the spoiler part if you want to. The first thing which I really liked about True Tears was the story and the depth of the relationships between the characters. The story is still one of the most intriguing and layered storylines that I have seen till today. It really sucks you into the anime from the first episode. Also, I created an instant bond with some of the characters, which is a very good sign for a drama anime. The relationships between the characters was very well done. None of the relationships was superficial and each one went through certain development. Each relationship had something to tell, going from the relationship between Shinichiro and his mother, Hiromi and her stepmother, Shinichiro and Noe, Hiromi and Noe, and several other ones who all added something to the story. I was also really surprised that the secondary male character, being Shinichiro's friend Miyokichi, had his own independent storyline. That's a rare thing to see in romantic animes. Usually the secondary male character doesn't get a storyline and is his only job to provide humoristic moments. But in True Tears, Miyokichi has his own storyline, which stands almost completely separated from the Shinichiro storyline. Unfortunately, the story didn't get enough attention in my eyes, but more about that later on. As I mentioned previously, I had an instant bond with some of the characters, and that was because the drama in True Tears is so well done. Best example was Noe. I had an instant connection with her. At first she seems like a goofball, but slowly you start to see the pain and suffering that she's going through. Also, the ending of True Tears got me right in the feels, but more about that later in this review. Related to that was the story about the chickens that is told throughout True Tears. It seems like a child story, but it carries a lot of depth and social meaning because it addresses many psychological problems that most people go through at a certain point in their lives. It deals with dreams and failure, which are both important topics in True Tears. Now, the first thing that I had a bit of a problem with was that the third girl in the anime, being Aiko, and her relationship with Miyokichi didn't get enough attention. When you look at the intro of True Tears, you see three girls: Noe, Hiromi and Aiko, so I thought that each of these girls would get the same amount of time and attention. But Aiko doesn't have a lot of encounters with our main hero Shinichiro, so that already fell a bit short. And as I mentioned before, her relationship with Miyokichi deserved a lot more attention and development. It was a really interesting story to follow and I just wish that it had received more attention. A small negative point is that I wonder how Noe is going to live her life after the end of the anime, because her brother, who took care of her, leaves at the end of the anime. So that was a small plot hole there. The next point is the spoiler in this review, so click the link to skip it if you haven't seen True Tears yet. I had an unbelievable big problem with the ending of True Tears. Like the majority of the people who watched True Tears, I was a big Noe fan. I liked her from the first moment that I saw her. I think that she's a really cute and beautiful girl. I have a custom list on Anime Planet titled Most Adorable Female Characters and Noe takes third place there. So I was really happy when she became a couple with Shinichiro, and I really loved to see the development in their relationship. But somehow, somewhere, I felt that something wasn't right. And when we got closer to the end of the anime, I realized what was going to happen. I prayed that my feeling was wrong, but unfortunately it wasn't. I was so sad, no, so troubled, when Shinichiro got together with Hiromi in the end of the anime. However, I'm not angry with Shinichiro for leaving Noe, because the way that they part ways was nice, so I don't have any resentment towards him. Unlike in another anime, where I was furious at the main character for the way he left his girlfriend. A review of that anime is in the making, and you will hear me rant about it a lot more then. The last scene where we see Noe finally cry, and therefore reaching this important goal to her and fulfilling this promise she had made with her grandmother, was really heartbreaking to see, but relieving at the same time. So as a conclusion, True Tears was a fantastic drama anime with one of the strongest storylines I have seen so far. If that one thing didn't happen, this would have been near perfection for me. That's why I'm going to rate True Tears at 4.5 out of 5 stars. If you want to see an anime with a great story, great drama and great relationships between the characters, then you should definitely watch True Tears. And with that, I conclude my review of True Tears. As usual, you can find the full list of all my animes and reviews over at Anime Planet. As usual, I will put the link in the description box down below. Now, if you want me to review a particular anime from this list, please put them in the comments. Also, if you have a recommendation for me, put them in the comments as well. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, visit me on Facebook and subscribe to this channel for more reviews in the future. I will say arigatou gozaimasu and I will see you all in tomorrow's video.